state networks, managing performance, insights, and tax reporting. So institutions actually, give me one second. Awesome. So institutions actually, can easily manage the accounting. As we know, accounting in crypto can be kind of a nightmare. So helping people do that, and then also manage SLAs and everything that's involved with essentially, managing a proof of stake network. We've also been focusing on developers, I would say, the past few years more intensely. So we've had Figment Learn pathways. If you actually navigate to, Solana's dev tutorials, you can see some of our pathways there. We've also done some for Near. Some of these, for example, are like, building a Solana Explorer clone for Near. It's like an NFT marketplace. And then on Avalanche, we have some DEX tutorials as well. So just really helping people understand how to actually build, these Web3 dApps that are out there. And so that's part of the educating, and then of course the building as well. So, once people are kind of like hacking and have something they want to go to mainnet with, we help support, those developers and their dApps to, essentially go live. And our thesis is that the future is multi-chain. A lot of the projects I talk to before even going to mainnet are thinking about going on 2 or 3 chains. And so one of the differentiators that we have is you can manage all of your protocols within your app with basically one API key. And that way you don't have to manage all the analytics and everything that's involved with the nodes and different apps. And I'll walk through the workflows there. We're basically trying to keep it as simple as possible. You can add collaborators to those apps that may or may not be in your company, because that's kind of the future of work as we see it. A little bit more about staking with Figment. Here are some of the networks we support. We have over 50 plus networks. A little less relevant today, but that's one of the largest parts of our business. And so building with Figment DataHub. So as we've kind of seen with just generally how some of the bounties work at Activate Miami, these are some of the 3 largest subcategories we're seeing. So one, of course, is with NFTs. So that's marketplaces, actual NFT projects and collectibles, NFT analytics, marketplace aggregators, but also on-chain analytics as well. And then some of the interesting utility that's coming out of NFTs. So some of that's, proof of attendance, interesting things going on with staking, and then other kind of like, maybe gaming applications, as we've seen with some, large apps like Stefan. DeFi, so these are like your traditional DEXs, AMMs, any type of lending, and then more interesting, maybe like other applications that are coming out as well. And then I would say like it's not here, but like Metaverse and gaming is another really big subcategory. We're seeing a lot of bounties in Activate Miami will be allocated to that as well. And then we're also helping institutions get into crypto. So what we're doing is on the staking side, but also what we're doing that's a little bit different than other kind of infrastructure providers is that, instead of, we have our transaction search API, which enables developers to actually look through these different transactions. We have a staking API, but we do believe the future is decentralized a lot with indexing. So we've partnered with the graph. We actually have a lot of our developers committed to building the graph right now. They're just on kind of like EVM chains, but they do have plans on going to Solana and some other chains as well. We're partnered with PIF. So that's what a lot of our work is with institutions. So helping them publish data to PIF. The Oracle is accurately priced and has information, and then helping out consumers as well, especially when we start building out our archive indexers that'll let you not only see real-time data, but also historical data that's being published to PIF as well, which is going to hopefully unlock a lot of more interesting use cases in DeFi and make the experience easier for developers. And here's kind of where I'm focused. So what DataHub is trying to be that command center for Web3. So nodes are definitely a part of it. Being able to support a lot of different chains and in just one aggregated view. Getting advanced analytics with the logs, SLAs, any errors that you're getting from interacting with these chains. We can all see that in one view, and you can also dive into different protocols as well. Managing that entire stack with one interface. So right now we're just partnered with the Graph and PIF, but we want to partner with decentralized storage providers like Arweave, IPFS, Filecoin, and then identity solutions as well is on our roadmap, so that you can have basically your whole Web3 stack in one platform. And often what we see with these decentralized protocols too is, similar problems to calling public endpoints. If everyone's using the same subgraph, you're going to get rate limited. You're going to have issues kind of like loading that information. So we're providing private endpoints for these decentralized protocols. Essentially, you're going to get the benefits of decentralized scalability, but with enterprise grade performance. That's essentially this slide. And then we also do modular pricing. So we have app plans that essentially dictate how many protocols you can connect to. Oh, looks like it's a little bit delayed. Second. There we go. We have fully modular pricing. So we have an app plan that dictates essentially your support levels and number of protocols you can connect to. And then we also have different pricing based on usage for each of these protocols. So essentially, I think up to like 3 or 5 million requests were totally free per each protocol. And then after that, we basically have auto scaling. So it's basically the more you use us, the cheaper it gets relatively. And that way you're only paying for what you use with DataHub. And these are some of our supported protocols. So we have, of course, Ethereum and some of the other EVM chains and the L2s that are coming up, but we also have some of the non-EVM chains that developers are really looking at, like Solana, AVAX, Near. We also have Mina. I've seen a lot of things going on there, and then Secret and Oasis, which are kind of more focused on the privacy. And we're constantly adding new networks as well as we see them pop up and developers start building off these networks. So these are essentially our app plans, which I kind of talked about. So it's free to kind of experiment with one protocol. So you can just sign up and just start playing around with that, and even submitting requests up to a few million, totally free. Then we also have 3 protocols for build, which is $20 a month. That also you'll see the log history. You'll have more log history the higher tiers you sign up for, and then support as well. So you can see it goes up 10 protocols to scale, and the enterprise, essentially everything's custom. And one of the cool things about enterprise as well that we get asked about a lot is being able to pay in crypto. So that's something we support as well. And then, so didn't have the number off the top of my head, but we're free up to 3 million requests per month, and then it goes into auto scaling. So 3 million requests, 10 rate limit per second, totally free. After that, and I think for the hackathon, that'll be, usually we see only a few thousand requests on testnet and devnet. This is really, we start seeing people play around with this when they launch the mainnet. So this should be supportive of anything you build during the hackathon. But when you go to production, when you go to mainnet, this will become interesting. Pro, 15 million requests per month, and then 500 rate limit per second. And then we also do archive nodes at the same price. Sometimes other providers, price that differently. For us, so it's all the same for now. And then auto scaling as well. So like I mentioned, getting relatively cheaper as you use us more. And then also if you use multiple chains with us as well, there's also discounts that are available there as well. Of course, with the benefits too of having everything aggregated in one view. So your, analytics and protocol endpoints aren't siloed. And this is it. So I'll be giving a demo of DataHub, but I wanted to talk about our bounties a little bit. So if you connect to the QR code here, just use your phone. You'll have a few links, the first being a hackathon submission. So we're offering up 10K to the first place winner for anyone who uses DataHub in your app. And all you have to use to do DataHub is copy and paste basically one line of code from the endpoint into your CLI, and then that's it. Solana, we're offering an additional 10K on top if you build with Solana plus one other chain, and then 5K for Near and Polygon. Just make sure that when you're ready, that first link, you submit all the information. It's just a few fields, but that way, we can manage everything on our end. And then I'll quickly give a quick overview of DataHub and how to actually build an app and connect to that CLI. So this is essentially it. to create an account, it's pretty simple. You just go to our website, datahub.figment.io, and create an account. I'm just going to walk through a couple quick things here today, just creating a new app and then how to actually get that endpoint. But to create a new app, it's super simple. You would name your app name, whether it's staging or production. Maybe for the hackathon, it's staging, but you have that choice. And then the main chain you want to be launching on. So let's just say AVAX for now. And then you would create that app here. And then your application's created. And then so from here, you can manage the app plans, you can view your API key, and then you can add a protocol as well. I'm going to go into our kind of like designated demo app just to show you what that looks like. But basically, you can see we have, some of our subgraph integrations here for private endpoints. When this loads, I'll show you how to get an endpoint from different protocols. But yeah, we have the views into your protocols, into your analytics, adding collaborators to through Teams, and then settings. You can see basically everything you're being billed for and your invoices. But yeah, essentially, let's go into Solana here. You can see all the different endpoints basically for mainnet, devnet, and testnet. So if you were going to go to mainnet here, you would just copy and paste this. And there's an example how to do it in here as well. Once you copy and paste that, and everything's kind of like live. That's basically how you get connected to DataHub. And with the form submission, you'll be eligible for our bounties for this hackathon. And then I think also there's details on the bounties in the form, but you also get a few free months of DataHub Pro if you win the bounty, essentially. Any questions on kind of just what I walked through here, DataHub in general, and our bounty programs? Okay, great. Then if there are no questions, I will leave it up to Holly to talk about a little bit more about our bounties and different challenges.
Thank you so much, Evan.
Yeah, of course.
So I'm curious, what are you guys building on? Anyone? I know you guys are building on Cello, right? What else? Who else? What else are you guys building on out there? Okay, Polygon, thank you. Anyone on Solana in here? No? Okay, what are you guys building on? Near. Okay, great, cool. So the nice thing about our challenges, and as you mentioned, we really do believe in a multi-chain future. So DataHub supports 19 different protocols. So whatever chain you guys are probably building on, I'm guessing we probably can help you out with that. But our specific bounty is, we're going to kind of walk through what you're going to have to do. So as we said, everyone has to sign up for Figment DataHub, and we kind of just went through that process there with Devin. And then this challenge here, that's going to be that form. Basically, the form just kind of goes through what's your wallet address so that we can actually, pay you your bounty at the end, and a couple other questions that we need just for tracking purposes to show that you actually did sign up for DataHub. So what we kind of did here was just kind of give you guys some ideas. We don't have a specific like bounty or challenge you have to do. We wanted to keep it open to all of the challenges, right? So any project that you guys are building here for any of the tracks of the hackathon could be relevant. This is a couple of fun ones that we've kind of come up with. I don't know if you guys have been to any of these conferences that actually have the apps that are doing different scavenger hunts. East Toronto is coming up, and I know they're going to be doing that this August. Their whole conference is gamified. So like you walk around, you scan QR codes, and these QR codes lead you to somewhere else. And it's really kind of fun. So we wanted to kind of give you guys an idea there. Another thing with Figment, as we mentioned, is we're really big into the staking, part of Web3. So an idea we had is maybe you guys could create an artifact that could go cross chains. We have multiple chains, and maybe it could even have a staking component. Again, like multiple multi-chain play to earn game. One that's on Solana that's pretty popular is called Star Atlas. They use Figment DataHub. One of the reasons why they said they use us is that we're the most reliable RPC provider that they've used to date. And especially when you're doing a gaming metaverse, you want to be sure that that is not going to be glitchy or slow, right? Because you're going to completely lose all your users if so. Or if you're doing an NFT launch and people are trying to mint their NFTs and you don't have the right throughput, you're also going to be losing users there. So these are just a couple ideas. Again, you don't have to use any of these specific ones. This is just us trying to get you guys, excited. For example, another project that I wrote a case study on for Figment is called Acumen. They're a DeFi protocol for good. They're partnering with the government of El Salvador. And what they're doing, they're actually the first blockchain in the world to be authorized by a central bank. So it's pretty cool. They're going to be getting loans out this month. And they're actually using DataHub as well for their RPC and throughput provider. So like, yeah. Acumen. Yeah. Yeah, Acumen. Yeah, Acumen official. So they're launching this quarter their loans in El Salvador. So they're starting in El Salvador, and their plans are to go to South Africa afterwards. Eventually, they want to have it be, a global thing, because what they're really working on is something called microfinance, which I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Muhammad Yunus actually won a Nobel Peace Prize for it in like 2012, I believe. It basically is what his thought is, that access to credit is a fundamental human right. Right. And a lot of places in the world, it's just not happening. And in Latin America, for example, in El Salvador, if you have a credit card, it could be up to 80% interest on the fees, or up to 300% on certain loans. So what they're doing is they're using the speed of Solana's blockchain to be able to actually bring these loans and also give users rewards on it. So not only are you earning rewards off of your tokens that you're staking with the Acumen stable app, but you're also doing something good for the world. Right. So there's all different ideas that you guys can do. That's just kind of one overview there. For the judging criteria that we're going to do, is you see the big ones on the bottom, is that you must use DataHub, must be built on Solana, Polygon, or near. Those are really kind of like the big pieces. Oh, is it not on? Oh, okay. So is it there we go. All right. So sorry, there we are. So, must be on DataHub platform, must be on Solana, Polygon, or near. And then the others are pretty basic, hackathon, I feel like, rules to kind of live by. We're looking for a really innovative idea. We're going to be actually doing some tech code review with Paul over here, who's our DevRel for Builder DAO. Really want to focus on, can you actually scale this idea, right? Think about something that you're building that's actually going to make a difference and people want to use, right? So not just some fun, cool new NFT. We want to see something that has a little bit more utility and show us what you can really do with Web3. And then again, here's just the prizes that Devin mentioned as well. So for the first prize, we're going to be giving $10,000 in SOL for whoever wins if you build on Solana plus another chain. So it just has to be 2 chains. And then we're also going to be giving a prize for Polygon and near for the people who build on that. And it's the same type of rules. Any project that you guys are building on, we've got near over there, Polygon, Celo, any of those projects that you guys can use with DataHub would be applicable. And now I'm going to pass it on to Paul.
Everybody. We're a bit ahead of schedule, so we'll go off the presentation for a few minutes. So I'm curious, how many people are like experienced developers in Web3 already? Like, has anyone deployed anything, or what about Web2 developers? Anyone? Who's here because they think that blockchain can like make a positive impact in the world? Like, who here sees a better future with blockchain? Right. So most of you, right? And this is what I love about the space, but the burden that you have is that you're the ones that are going to be building the future. Like, it's on you to make it happen, and it's on you to make it good, right? So Builder's focus is to reduce friction into the Web3 space. So if you look at Web2, we have all these amazing resources, whether it's Stack Overflow, GitHub. There's high visibility, so you have a lot of reference points as a developer. Blockchain comes along, and of course there's value to these protocols, so communities form, but you end up with knowledge silos, right? So this is great if you're part of the silo. You can onboard quickly. The community is very close and tight knit. You get a lot of mentorship and support. But what if you're not in the space already? How do you get involved, and how do we scale that community quickly so that we can get like high velocity deployments in Web3? So that's what Build a DAO is all about. We're forming a community and then a DAO with the primary purpose of reducing friction and bridging Web2 developers into Web3. So something that we do have via Figment, here, let me share. So one of the products that we deployed was Figment Learn. And so with Figment Learn, you have all of these different learning tracks, and it provides you more than just documentation, but it also gives you context. So if you're building the hackathon and you need support and more documentation or a tutorial, head over to learn.figment.io. And all you need to get through it all is a GitHub account. So here, I'll show you a quick example. So here I clicked on the Solana. And you actually don't need anything in your local environment. Sorry, it's a bit laggy. So you can launch it on Gitpod. Devin, I'm gonna log in. Okay, cool. So now it's going to do its thing, and you get two things with Gitpod and Learn with Figment. You get the IDE, and then you get the visual representation of where you are in the path. So there's nice guidance. You get code snippets. You get help. You're never stuck. So if you hit a blocker during the tutorial, you can simply go through it. So these are all the pathways that we have available to you. So as you're going through the hackathon, feel free to check it out. And if you need guidance or help going through the pathways, any of us are available. We'll be here all weekend as well. I'm not sure going through the pathway is going to work out. Yeah. I was hoping to go through one of the Solana 101 pathway, but I don't think it's going to work out with the Wi-Fi.
We will be sending this deck out though to everyone. We're going to have Diogo send this out, so the links that he's showing you and what happened there will be available.
Perhaps what I'll do is I'll show you what we're up to at BuilderDAO. So right now, BuilderDAO is, we have a Notion site, we have a Discord, we meet every Friday in Discord, and we build together, right? So one of the things we noticed in the space is a lot of networks are trying to do education independently, and there's challenges with that. One, your visibility siloed within your community, and then two, we believe that the future is cross-chain. You may use one chain for identity, another for storage, another for transactions. And so our aim is to break those silos and bring communities together and then propagate that knowledge and make it available. Kill that. What's that? Has anyone here done like ambassador programs, or what's been your experience learning in the Web3 space so far? Anyone? Miami Hackathon? Rust? Solidity and Rust? I've met a few people actually that knew nothing about blockchain until they learned Rust. All right, let's try that. Okay, we'll try the pathways again. So in the meantime, BuilderDAO. So we're in discovery mode right now. We're testing a lot of different things. The first thing we're testing is community and what we can build together. So again, Feature Fridays. We're in Fridays in Discord every Friday, and we're building out new features together. The first thing we're doing is a Q&A feature where you're incentivized to submit questions and give answers, and then verified answers get a small bounty. So like $5–10 worth of Solana. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here's an example pathway. And this is all running in Git pods, so I don't have to concern myself with like local environment. Can't see it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll open the, is that window the way? All right. So here you have the simple browser. Let's see that. So I opened it in a new tab just to make it easier to view. So basically this website that comes up, if it decides to, will provide all the guidance to get through the tutorial. So it's basically a hello world for Solana. And then we have specific guides for all of the different pathways. There we go. So let's check out the Solana pathway. Does everyone here know what they're building yet for the hack? Some ideas, yeah? What are you working on?
Yeah, so basically up to these fast visual bullet, state is open and like script devices. On the other side, we have using NFTs information.
Oh, okay.
NFTs information. And things we're thinking of probably setup, like for example, we one host into widget and see settings will be done. I don't know, Solana is I don't know, yes, so we can stick to travel the interesting data, the actions.
Great, yeah. So proof of donation is what my takeaway. Yeah, yeah, awesome. Anyone else doing something like tech for good? Yeah.
So it's creating a user stuff, and we want to tag a bunch of decentralized documents, different tags for subjects, so that people can find them and censorship resistant.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Tamper-proof is really important, and it's interesting. I saw there was a project that was using addresses to sign proof of ownership over documents, but then you could also decorate it with further things. So it would be like DocuSign, but then with further trust or enhanced trust. Right?
That's also the nation and contract change.
Yeah. So for example, like maybe I'm an engineer and I signed a contract asserting, okay, I made these blueprints, but then also asserting that I'm an engineer and I have a degree from a certain university. So sort of enhanced beyond just a signature. Okay, finally. So I won't run through all of this just because the Wi-Fi is obviously causing some issues, but this is just an example. So here's the Solana 101 pathway. And then as you go through the pathway, you're provided with hints for the code snippets. And then if you're really stuck, you could always find the solutions. And then there's links to documentation, the Solana documentation as well. So it really holds your hand throughout the process. So here it walks us through connecting to the DataHub dashboard. Okay, I'll just continue to next steps. Right, so here's an example. So this is the first page of the pathway, and it's saying like, hey, your challenge is to connect to Solana. So there's some nice documentation and some explanation, and then basically you just need to modify the code a little bit so that it works and gets you connected to the network. So here I'm just going to copy and paste the solution so you could see the flow. What am I looking for here? Right. Pages. Pages, API, Solana, and we're going to connect. So just for the sake of this demonstration, I'll paste the answer. The Zoom bar keeps getting in my way. Devin, is your keyboard? I'm trying to copy paste between the two.
Let me see.
Yeah. All right, cool. So now if we run it, we should get a connection. So that's it. So the whole tutorial is based around short challenges and then feedback and then next steps. So it really guides you along the process. Any questions on that? So learn.figment.io. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, and then there's all the different tracks. So. So someone mentioned they were building on Polygon. Yeah. So we have a track for Polygon. You got the basic 101, building a mirror clone. Yes.
What do you say about your integration with graph?
Devin, can you speak to that?
Yeah, we have set up here. So we have integration with the graph. It's basically running mostly on EVM chains right now. So essentially what we do is we host like private endpoints for the graph, so that way we'll fork over the code and you basically have access to that subgraph with our private endpoint. So you're not going to be calling their public endpoint and being rate limited. So a lot of large scale dApps and stuff like aren't be able to index at that like rate limit. They need to index faster and they're doing a ton of requests. So that's our partnership with the graph. We also have some add-ons that are helpful. We help manage GRT balances for customers. They don't have to manage that from an accounting perspective. Then just like a couple other things as well that we're working on. But the graph is coming to some other chains as well. I think Solana being one of the first. So that way you can have decentralized indexers for these other chains as well. Are you planning on using like subgraphs with your platform? Yeah.
You can link them with DataHub right now.
Yeah, so let's walk through that workflow right now.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we'll log in again. Go here. And then under the protocol section, we have our subgraphs. So you can see some popular subgraphs here. To link a subgraph, all you have to do is, if it's not already deployed, you have to deploy that subgraph, but you just copy and paste the ID and then you add it, and then you have access to that subgraph. So I'll show you kind of, sorry. I think it would just be the ID of that subgraph. Yeah. So yeah, not sure if I don't think it's from the RPC, but let me show you what this would kind of look like, this subgraph section. So essentially, you can see the information on that particular subgraph, the status, so the ID, the subgraph ID, the deployment ID, when it was created and updated, and then other things regarding the engagement. So query fees, signal, stake, and then you have logs for the indexers and the curators as well. So you can see their allocation, the fees, the rewards, and how long they've been, I guess, a member of the graph. And then you can do that for curators as well. And you have all the wallet addresses. Yeah, no problem. Any other questions on subgraphs or DataHub stuff? We'll also be hosting office hours at 4. Yeah, so if you need any help just getting connected to our RPC, we know you guys are gonna be really busy developing your dApps. You can just come to our office hours and we'll help you out in getting set up. That way you're eligible for all of our bounties, and don't have to stress about that part too much. I'll hand it off to Paul again.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think we're just about finished. Really sorry about the
Question, because your connection is great here, one of our events with remotely, so is there a remote office hours or Discord
you could feel free to hop into Discord or just add us. You can come get our contact info. I was going to mention too, like I'm around all weekend. I'm a full stack dev and I've got some experience with UI stuff. So if anybody needs to lean on me to get some stuff done, I'm happy to help and kick around. Yeah. So reach me on Telegram, and then Devin and Holly here will always help with DataHub stuff. So.
We'll also have our booth over there as well. So if you can't make the office hours and need some help as well, feel free to swing by or give our information.
We'll be here all weekend, so we're judging on Sunday, so we can't wait to see your guys' project.
Good. All right.
Yeah, we're all set, guys.
All right. Thanks,
You guys let
everyone.
us know.
Get the meeting, man.
Awesome. Doing well. Yeah, it should be. Let me know. I can see your press, but yeah, just follow. I know the first part. So yeah, if you want to just create an account, I think you can do it.
No, don't worry, don't worry. You can leave it here.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.